Hey everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger, another episode of The Daily Ticket. We've reached Friday. Thank God. Friday, it's the 17th of May. It's 2024. Weather is gorgeous. I must warn you, Tigers shit the bed in the desert. If they go to Arizona, not a great team, however, they did go to the World Series last year. If they lose this series, I'm coming to this podcast next week with a radical idea that you're going to disagree with. But then you're going to think about it. And you're going to say, you know what? That annoying guy with that annoying voice and that ridiculous looking shaved head and that big ass nose has a point. We're going to do it next week. The only way you hear this opinion is if the Tigers lose this series against Arizona, which, by the way, is a distinct possibility. But the weekend's just around the corner. I cannot wait. Seems like it's been a very long week. I also have to point out next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, there's going to be no daily ticket. I'm going on a golf trip for one day, 36 holes. It's going to be exhausting. I don't have time for the podcast. I'm taking 2 days off, and then I'll be back. So let's see. Monday, there'll be a podcast. No Tuesday, no Wednesday. We'll be back on Thursday, if that's good with you. Okay, good. I'm glad we agree. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Because now that the NFL has released the NFL schedule, sports radio yesterday was all about the schedule. It's all about what you like, what you hate. We did the podcast yesterday about it. I think the general consensus is everybody hates the bye week in week 5. People would rather have it as late as possible. Other than that, I don't think people like the back-to-back road games. Is it at Green Bay and at the Houston Texans? The Texans, of course, Sunday Night Football. Other than that, I think people are fine with the schedule. And the Lions are a good football team. It doesn't really matter what the schedule is. It doesn't even matter if you played the game, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss, because they have the talent to get right back to where they were and further. The NFC title game, maybe even the Super Bowl, dare I say. But it's going to be tough. And I can't wait to watch it. I can't. I mean, this is the first time in my life, your life too, that the Lions have a chance to go to the postseason in back-to-back years. Now, I know that's small potatoes, considering what most people think the expectations are for this season, which is the Super Bowl. But I'm going to start there. I'm going to cherish the small things. The fact that we could see back-to-back playoff seasons for the first time, I think, in my life. I can't remember if they've done it before while I've been alive. I probably should have looked it up. I mean, that's pretty remarkable in itself. That kind of shows you how things have changed. Here's the other thing that shows you how things have changed. So, the schedule was released. It came as a surprise to nobody that NBC and the NFL loves the Lions being on national TV. They have 9 nationally televised games. They have 5 primetime games. They also have a 6 if you count the Thanksgiving Day game against the Chicago Bears, which unfortunately I actually have as a loss. Don't hate me. The weekend's tomorrow, just around the corner. No reason for hatred, okay? But anyway, it's no secret the NFL, the networks, they now love the Lions. The Lions are the media darlings. So it should also have come as no surprise that on opening day, you get Matthew Stafford and Kelly Stafford and the girls coming right back to Ford Field. Now, don't boo their kids, people, you awful fans. That was ridiculous. They booed my kids. Kelly, what are we doing here? They were booing you. Anyway, with this game happening, and we got 4 months to think about it. This was really the only time I could do this podcast. And let's be honest, you like to think I'm better than this, but I'm not. I'm a child. I'm immature. You know me. If you watch the Daily Ticket, if you listen to the Daily Ticket, you know I'm not better than this. But this is the only day we can actually do this. And I think it's fun. And I actually think a lot of people agree with me. So I'm just going to come out and I'm going to blurt it out. And then you can decide for yourself if you agree or disagree. Should Matthew Stafford get a tribute video? And it's not just me talking about this, I swear. I heard the morning show talk about it yesterday. I heard the midday show talking about it yesterday. And at the taping of this podcast, it's 2:49 on a Thursday. I don't know if Mike and Rico were talking about it, but I got to believe at some point they're going to mention it at least. The Rams and Stafford come back. They're going to be looking for revenge because the Lions beat them in the playoff game on Sunday Night Football on Super Wildcard Weekend. And it's going to be an electric, kick-ass, awesome fucking atmosphere once again. Does Stafford deserve a tribute video? Seems to be what everybody does. Guy comes back to town, used to play in your town. You give him a 2-minute video. Everybody gets a little teary-eyed. Then you give him a standing ovation. And that's that. Fuck that. Absolutely not. He doesn't deserve a tribute video for a litany of reasons. But let's go down them very quickly, okay? Number one, I know you think I hate Matthew Stafford. I don't. I just always thought he was overrated. And I understand I can't get away from that opinion. But I'm just trying to be fair and honest. A lot of people love to compare Stafford to Verlander, and Verlander got all kinds of tribute videos when he came back to town. It's been now 7 years, right? He even got a standing ovation when he came back last Sunday, okay? A Mother's Day. Justin Verlander did way more than Matthew Stafford did on the field. Matthew Stafford, very charitable guy, so is Verlander. We're not talking about charity, okay? We're talking about what you did on the field. Verlander won MVP. Verlander won Cy Young. Verlander had 2 no-hitters. Verlander had 2 sensational Game 5s against the Oakland A's and Sonny Gray. Justin Verlander is a surefire Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers ever. Justin Verlander was unreal. And yet he wanted to be traded because he didn't want to rebuild in Detroit. Matthew Stafford didn't do any of that stuff. Yeah, he was tough. Yeah, he suited up. He took a beating, and he also took $250 million. He doesn't deserve a tribute video. But even if you're one of these people that loved what Stafford did here, and I totally get that. I mean, he was Goff before Goff was Goff. He was beloved. Everybody defended Matthew Stafford with the exception of a guy like myself. I understand if you got a soft spot in your heart for number 9. I totally do. And maybe you think, well, what could a tribute video hurt? And maybe you're right, or maybe you're wrong. First of all, Stafford's going to get booed again. He's going to get booed a ton again. There's no question about that. You don't boo him in the playoff game, the more important game, and then once the precedent has already been set, what are you going to cheer him when he runs on the field this time? You know you're not. Even if you think you are, you're not. So if you actually make a tribute video from Matthew Stafford for all his great moments in Detroit, you know what's going to happen? It's going to get booed. It's going to turn into an ugly scene. They're going to start chanting Jared Goff. You're going to start chanting Jared Goff. You know you will. And then we're going to look on national TV like what? Ungrateful fans? Don't put us in that position. We're going to be fired up for the game. We're going to be fired up for the Lions to kick the Rams' ass yet again. Don't make us look like the bad guys. I can only see it now. Mike Tirico on TV. Oh my goodness gracious. They showed a Stafford tribute video and the entire crowd booed him. And it's not our fault. It's not like you don't have respect or gratitude for Matthew. It's the fact that you will have waited all offseason to get back to playing NFL football. You're a human being. Of course you're going to boo him. And you're going to boo the video. So don't put us in that position. It will turn ugly. We'll get a bad rap for it. But if you're not sold, I got more for you. The Lions just extended Jared Goff to a ridiculous amount of money. Why are we showing a video of the quarterback that Goff was traded for? Now, if you wanted to make a video, and I suggest the Lions actually do this, and make it a Stafford tribute video, but you show nothing of the highlights of the game last year, I'd be all for that. Now, if you wanted to make a Stafford tribute video, and it's nothing but him throwing pick sixes or getting sacked, I'd be for that too. But I know both those things are not going to happen. Lions are way too classy to stoop to that level. But you're just re-signed Goff. Goff's your guy. Why are we forced to watch a Stafford tribute video? But if I haven't sold you yet, how about a couple more reasons that you don't do the video? Kelly Stafford accused you of booing her kids. She lied. You didn't boo her kids. She then fessed up to it. That's ridiculous. You would never boo children. Now, maybe this time around you should boo the kids. I kid. You would never boo. Nobody boos kids. You're not going to boo kids. She doesn't deserve it. Her husband doesn't deserve it because of that. But I got more for you. Matthew Stafford also called Kirby Joseph dirty as fuck. Do you remember that? We all saw it. He was mic'd up, said, hey, Kirby, you're dirty as fuck. Like, you can't get away with that. I don't think. You don't deserve a tribute video. But I got more. I watched the Rams schedule release video. They called Ford Field Stafford Field. They just added the STAF and then to Ford Field. That's disrespectful in itself. Don't give them a tribute video for that. But more than anything else, this proves the point. Do you remember this? Do you remember this from the last time they played? Matthew Stafford asked by Corey Woods from MLive. Corey does a great job. How he feels about Detroit. Of course, he's bummed that he lost the game sitting there with his Veneers and his Carhartt jacket. But he's got to feel good for the city of Detroit, right? I mean, he was here for 12 years. He knows how much we love football. Here was Stafford's answer.
Sean McVay was up here. He said that he was happy for Jared Goff and whatnot through their time together. You've been here in Detroit for your first 12 seasons. Just how do you feel about the city of Detroit? No,
I'm happy for the players. Happy for those guys.
Okay, so we've talked about this before. You cheered for Stafford. You supported Stafford. You bought Detroit Rams gear, potentially, depending on who you are. And you rooted for him to win a Super Bowl, all while hurting your draft stock. You gave everything to this man, and he's got the audacity to say, I'm happy for the players. He's not happy for you? Why wouldn't he be happy for you? You've been through hell, 12 years of hell when he played here. Why wouldn't he be happy for you? Don't give him a tribute video. Don't do it. Do not do it. He doesn't deserve it, at least in my opinion. But I don't care what I think because you don't care what I think. How about what you think? I threw this question on Twitter yesterday when the schedule came out. And I just simply asked, does Stafford get a tribute video? Let me read a couple of quick responses. Timo says, yes, I suggest a montage with all the highlights from his playoff wins here. Carrie Lynn says, I sure hope not. Fats on Twitter. At this point, yes. If we lose to the Rams in the playoffs, I'm not so sure. Well, you beat the Rams in the playoffs, so there you go. How about this one? Jacob Fuchs. He shouldn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. So it's pretty much like straight down the middle. King of the Good Times says, standing ovation, nothing more. He didn't accomplish anything with us. Yeah, I would agree, but I wouldn't even give him a standing up. Boo him instead. And then one more for you. How about Nicole says, I can't do another 3 months of this, Rieger. Well, this is the last time I'll ever mention it. I swear. Last time. So the fans seem conflicted straight down the middle. I say absolutely not. I'm curious what you think. Do you give Matthew Stafford a tribute video when the Rams come to town? The first game of the season, September 8th, Sunday Night Football. I say hell no. But what about you? Let me know on the comments section, and I will read them all, and we'll catch you Monday. Fair? Have I proven my point? Is this a ridiculous podcast? Of course you're going to say yes, but you know I'm not better than this. I had to address this, and everybody else is talking about it too. So answer for yourself. And go look at my Twitter if you want. I mean, I got like 100 responses pretty much straight down the middle. Some people say, yes, we love Matthew. Other people say, hell no. Here's the thing, by the way, very quickly. I think Matthew proved that he should not be as beloved as he once was. So, there you go. All right, answer the question. I got to roll. My wife's got to hop on a call. I got to get the hell out of this room. We'll catch you on a Monday on the Daily Ticket. You guys are the best. Have a great weekend. See ya.